My name is Monique, and we are at Cavas Conversations. And I have amazing artists with me today. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
What's
Hello.
up?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Howdy do.
Good.
Fantastic.
I am Terry Griffin. You want us to talk about ourselves for a second, or what you want?
Yeah.
How you want to?
Introduce
Okay.
yourself.
I am Terry Griffin. I am a content creator, marketing company. I help entrepreneurs create content for their business.
Nice. I thought you was gonna give a little more. You said you want to talk about yourself.
Nah.
You
hit
hit
us
us with the elevator speech. My name is Ariel Meii. Meii is my middle name. I'm a wardrobe stylist. I'm a creative director. I'm a fashion instructor. Also an author. Have a book published, and I'm publishing another one soon.
Yeah.
What else? I just like to consider myself an all-around creative. I like all things creative and entrepreneurship.
Okay, let me redo mine.
Aw,
Okay,
see?
let me redo mine, man. She just did. I'm just playing.
Your turn.
So you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had to think about it. Hello, my name is Cameron. I am a creative director, stylist, student. You name it, I do it. Paint, all the arts, make things, set directing, prop building, product styling. And I love colors and clothes.
Noise.
Noise.
Yo, what's up, y'all? My name is Najee Strickland. I am a multidisciplinary artist, and underneath that umbrella, I specialize in clothing construction and visual art. So yeah.
I want to say this. I love that y'all sitting by each other. Love it.
I was gonna say, I
I'm
need
a
to get my
black-
little
I wear
elevator
black in
pitch
the meeting,
together.
so, you know. But I'm a black today.
We on the
I'm
color
definitely
end.
in the always wearing black, so this is me stepping out.
Yeah.
You know,
Doing something different today.
something a little different. I figured I was up here with all these creatives, so I made me a shirt and everything, so I
Come
can,
on.
fit in a little
Nice.
more. You know.
Mhm.
Did you bring us one?
No,
Right.
y'all
I was
shirt?
like, where's our merch?
Next time. I got you.
Wow.
Next time.
Content
Appreciate
creator,
Where
you
we
say?
styling on
No
the
sticker.
I'm gonna
Creator,
dance
you
that
say?
shirt, though.
Mm.
I'm just saying.
I just want a sticker.
That's so
Give me a
funny.
little stick
Okay,
from a bottle.
I want to appreciate y'all for being here, for having this conversation with us today. But I kind of want to get the background. Like, what started you guys on your fashion journey? We can start with you, Mo.
So I been into fashion since I was younger. It was something I always loved doing. I always been an artist too. Like I've always been into art. I've kind of dibble and dabble in just everything. And then one day I was just like, Mom, I think I'm gonna do fashion because I was always playing into clothes and stuff like that. But it's been something I've been into for a very, very long time. So yeah. And then I kind of lived, and then I end up back into fashion after my car accident. And yeah, I have arrived. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. So I grew up a hooper. So hooping was my first love. I was a tomboy, so anything baggy, sweat. I used to wear a white tee, jeans, and some pink and white shacks every single day. And I noticed that I started to have an issue with that in 5th grade when I had my cornrows to the back. All the girls came, they had these big dresses and like
Yeah.
tutu with the little stockings, and I had on my white tee, my jeans, and my pink and white shacks. And I was like, dang, I'm feeling kind of bummy. But even then, still, I didn't really tap into fashion.
Yeah.
I think in middle school, I got into sneakers first. I was seeing like all the cool kids or whatever have all the sneakers, and I was like, dang, like I just want shoes. I just want dope
Right.
shoes to wear in my sweats. And then when I got into high school, I was like, ooh, look at boys. And I was like, I can't be looking like a boy trying to like the boys. And so I just started to explore fashion, and things were trendy. I went through like the punk rock stage and like the Y2K phase and all of that, and I just started to see how I can express myself and stand out and be different with fashion. And I used to love thrifting. I went to the thrift store all the time, and I started to see how people were like really gravitating towards just how I dressed and really liked that, and I was able to show my personality through it too. And then from there, I just grew a passion for clothes and fashion, and just wanted to dress and be different from everybody else. And then it just became a part of who I am. Fast forward, after I seen that basketball wasn't gonna work out and I wasn't gonna be the first girl in the NBA. Dang it. I took a break from college and was in a room full of other creators. My friend who does music, she asked me to style her. I did it just for her, and I seen that it was that easy for me to do. And I was like, hold on, this could be a thing. Like, I can, and then it just took off from there and fell in my lap, literally like aligned with my purpose and was a blessing. So that's where I'm at now with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I, like these two lovely ladies, have been into fashion and clothes for a long time. I started stick figure sketching at like probably 4. I was the one dressing all my cousins in clothes and my mama's clothes. And probably around middle school, I noticed I was a little different. I wore a lot of stuff that people thought they couldn't wear or that they would not imagine themselves wearing. So it made it very interesting. Like people would say that often. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't pull that off." And so that kind of became like my thing to like, okay, well, I'm very into bold and bright and eccentric and things that just stand out by nature. So like going through high school and college, I graduated from Clark CAU. It was such a, like, that's why I really honed in on the fashion, because like the promenade, it was a fashion show every day. Wow. Whether you was going to class or not. Whether you were just sitting on the promenade, like everybody was always looking at outfits. And then I got my bachelor's in psychology, which made me more connected with the psychology of colors, psychology of prints, the psychology of people, focusing more on body types, what fits certain people. And then I started at City College, and I got my degree in fashion design and fashion illustration, and I won a scholarship for a full ride at Academy of the Arts, where I am currently getting my master's degree. Learning all of these things that I already like have been doing. So just kind of professionalizing what I've been doing my whole life.
That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
That's what's up. Where do I start? Let's see. Like Mo said, I've been a creative all my life. And I always just seen it, with my parents or just in the place that I grew up, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad, he wore like bright color suits and he always was a club person. So like, I don't know if y'all remember that Andre 3000 verse, but he said something like dressing all boogie and carrying ugly cups. But that was my dad. He described my dad basically. But anyway, like he just always had these tailor-made suits, and I just thought the day was fresh. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I wouldn't wear that, but I was just like, dang, Dad, that's fresh. That's dope. And just growing up and seeing my mom just being very, very and super stylish, So far as me, I was like plain Jane, but I wanted to be different too, So like I shopped at Goodwill, and when my parents asked for what I wanted from stores, I'm like, it was always, I don't know, or like just surprise me or something like that. Because one day my dad and brother popped up, and they had a bunch of clothes from Nas' collection, Escobar. And I was like, I didn't even know Nas had a collection. You know what I'm saying? Outkast had, clothes and merch. I was like, bro, I did not know that. But I was interested in those things because it was different. Nobody was wearing those things. Like us growing up, come on, y'all, what all everybody wore? Nike, Jordan, like Rockaware. Come on, like Baby Fat, like all the same brands and things. Like it was just repetitive. So I just wanted to be different. And the way I got into like actually designing, like I started out painting on shirts. Like I used fabric paint, and I used to paint T-shirts and images and stuff. And I came out with a brand called Heartless. I came out with a brand called Heartless because like relationships and it transitioned into like just a society being different from like normal groups of people when it comes to like fashion or style or clothes. So I wanted to like just do something different, and then that's when I rebranded and I call it NSD, Najee Strickland Designs, and then now I'm just my name, Najee Strickland, and that's what I do, just construct clothes, and I make patterns from scratch and fashion illustration and all of that. So yeah,
Sure.
Ooh,
You
pattern
are
making
hella
was
dope.
my worst class.
pattern making ain't no joke.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is, I had to leave.
My
I mean, I can
teacher used
still
to
do
look
it
at me
though, but it's-
crazy.
Yeah.
My
It's
teacher used
not
to
fun,
look.
so I was like, yeah, since it's not fun no more, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I would be glazed in the classroom. My teacher would be like,
I love
"You did
draping more
everything?"
than
Like,
pattern making.
Oh yeah,
Draping is
draping.
dope.
Yeah, I like draping.
Yeah,
Draping is
cool. Like,
dope.
I enjoy draping now.
Huh? What you
Ooh,
say?
I said, phew, over my head.
Yeah, sorry.
Over my head too.
To,
Stylist, over my
sum
head.
to sum it up, draping would be like taking fabric and pinning it on your body
Yep.
versus pattern making,
Yeah.
which is like I need to measure you every
Yeah.
measurement.
Like
And-
numbers,
from here to here,
geometry,
Yeah.
math.
4
Yes.
feet. You got to have a half inch around
Man.
for yeah.
It's a
The
lot.
seam
You
allowance.
talk about
Ooh,
math,
I hate the
like-
seam allowance.
Like I hated fractions growing up, but now
Oh,
I'm
that
just
was
like,
a
I
whole-
really appreciate fractions.
Yeah,
But
no,
you
for
are
real.
really,
Yeah.
but he
I
is
appreciate
so
it now.
dope at like when I went to like see some stuff he was doing, I was just like, what? I mean, and I missed that part of myself. But since my body not the same, I'm just like, I just can't do it because you gotta bend and do
Yeah, you
all
gotta
this
do a
stuff.
lot of
It's
stuff,
just a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So when I did try to go back into it, I was like, this too hard on my body. Like it's no way. But it's awesome. I love it.
So everybody here is in fashion, but y'all are into it in different ways.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So how would you like define like your personal style? Like, what does that look like? And then I'll ask. Then my second part, I want y'all to answer that first, and then my second part to that question is like, things evolve. Do you go with the trends, or do you stay how you just with your personal style?
Let me.
So I would say with mine, I have like a simple style where I like stuff to be simple and to the point. But then I have the artist side of myself where I love to just express myself and just do whatever the hell I want to do. So I have that side of me. I love like everything that has to do with fashion. So like how you said, the punk rock, and like I still have that side of me. So every now and then I do those type of looks. So I feel like my style is very bipolar, very just sometimes all over the place, and then sometimes it go right back to the simple. Today I'm very simple, but I'm wearing a black designer up here, Gap, you know. But yeah. And then what was the second part of the question?
Well, just answer that one first, and then we'll come back to the
Okay.
second one.
Okay, there you go. I would say that very bipolar.
And I ask this because as someone, I'm very simple. I am jeans, crew neck, jeans, hoodie, jeans, t-shirt, hat. That's it. And I watch like people do red carpets or just different celebrities places, and I'll be like, I wouldn't like, what are they wearing? And I just be thinking like, are they only doing that because that's like, oh, okay, you just got to put this on because you're a fashion, like you're an icon, you want to stand out, or is it like, no, this really your style, like that? Like I look at stuff like that, and I'll be
Let me
looking
speak
like,
to that a little
what?
bit.
Yeah.
A lot of them, it's not theirs. If they have a good stylist, it'll be a part of their style.
Yeah.
Depending on if it's, because it could be from a designer, because like certain designers, they will send specific outfits to certain people. And if they're going to the Met Gala, you're wearing this to the Met Gala.
Louis Vuitton this year.
Because the designer invited you. So like there's a lot of moving parts with that.
For sure.
But if the stylist and the person who they're styling knows themselves, then they will be like, nah, that's not me. Like Rihanna, she's always on brand. And her brand is always very bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will see Rihanna glammed up. You will see her dressed down. You will see her in a hockey jersey. You will see her in baggy pants. And she literally, there's not anything she can't pull off. So like for her, she's probably easier to style as a celebrity because people are like, oh, I know, like, you know, as opposed to who's that one chick, Sabrina something, that be wearing a different bodysuits. I just heard about her. I think maybe Sabrina Claudio. She wears a different bodysuit to whatever show she's performing at, and she does like a big unveil, and people are like, ah! And I'm like, I would not know how to style her other than getting her a bodysuit. You know, so like depending on what the scenario is, either it's part of their style or it's just like, this designer said they want you to wear this.
For sure. Ariel, going to you, like, what's your personal like style? How do you like it?
My personal style, like something I would prefer all the time is baggy pants, some sneakers or some Timbs or something, and just like a little crop. I love a crop top.
Okay.
And then like maybe like a big jacket. So I'm still very much stuck in like 2000s era.
For sure.
I'm a tomboy, so I love being. I just love being comfortable, but looking fly. Like I love that chill look. Like I never really had that. Where I never was like, oh, I just want to look super girly and done up. Now I will say like my style is becoming more versatile because I do like now I got on the heel and I got on like the 2-piece suit and stuff. So I do like to come a little more chic and stuff now too. I think mine's always just depends on the occasion.
For sure.
So if I'm in New York, I'm pulling out my fur jackets, my funky stuff, my pieces that I know I'm walking down the street in New York and it's normal.
Yeah.
Out here in the Bay, I probably stick more to my 2000s vibe and just being my chill self, being swaggy or whatever. And then like if I'm doing something speaking, I still like to be fly and like stand out a little bit. So I'm paying attention to colors, textures, fits, and things like that. And maybe like a suit, you know. So I never want to be basic. I never want to be plain. So I'm always trying to see how I can add my twist on it. But my personal style, I would say, is leaning more toward streetwear.
For sure.
Tiana Taylor is my inspo ever since I seen her Sweet 16. And I just seen, it was just like, dang, somebody like, it's somebody else out there like me is what I felt.
For sure.
You know, I don't have that body to be doing all the stuff she be doing. You know, she got the 10 pack and things.
She
but
definitely got that.
My personal style will be more so like, I don't know, I guess streetwear.
Okay.
Like kind of elevated or whatever. Just what I feel. And as far as trends, I don't really follow them. Now, there are some trends that I see and I like. And I'd be like, okay. And I like to put my twist on it. But some trends kind of I just be like, getting like, it just becoming, it's like overrated.
For sure.
And I'm just like, dang, like I don't even want to try it because I keep seeing it. And it's just like, I always want to feel unique. And because I'm a stylist, I always got to feel like people can come to me and get something different or see something different, opposed to me just falling toward the trends. But I can be trendy if my client wants that, and I can create that for them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the 2000s look, right? Like that's coming back
Coming
into
back,
style, right? Like for me having like teenage daughters, they like wear like baggy clothes now. And for me as a dad, I'd be like, yes, like hell yeah, you get the baggy jeans and that baggy shirt. Like heck yeah, cover up. You don't gotta wear no tight jeans. So I love the baggy stuff getting into style for them. What about you in your personal style?
My style would be if Fran Drescher and Will Smith had a baby. That's me.
Okay.
Fresh Prince mixed with the nanny.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad you gave that description because at first I didn't know who the second person was that you said, so I was lost. But when you said the nanny, now I know what you're talking about.
That's
yes.
right.
So,
I just say her name all the time. Fran Drescher.
And then you said Will Smith. I'm like, Will Smith, but then you also clarified Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Because that also like make a difference of Will Smith and his dressing. Right?
Yeah, because he was very
in that era.
Yeah, I'm thinking Will Smith today, but when you say Fresh Prince and the nanny, now that really comes together. I get it.
So it's like, you know.
That.
So would you say 90s? 80s, 90s?
You basing on the era?
No. I honestly, my clothes talk for me, which is like this. This is a dress that I made into a skirt so I could wear my cool ass Mighty Ducks jersey. So it's like I love colors. it's not too often that I'm in a bad mood color wise, because like I wear black even when I'm in a happy mood. So like I don't have a certain aesthetic. I wear what I like. What I like. I don't do trends. If I do a trend, it's mad late. Because I just like I hate it, especially like nowadays. It's like they done burnt through the trend in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I ain't get them yet. Like, can y'all slow down? So it's just like, and fashion repeats itself. Like, literally the same styles. They're coming back. I seen, y'all remember the shirts that was like this big, and then you put them on, and it's like a real shirt.
Span.
I done seen 3 people with them in the past 2 months, and I'm like, no, it's coming back.
High school.
But yeah, I don't buy things collectively. I buy pieces and then I put them together. Because I like to not see other people in my style. Like, people think like, oh, if I buy that dress, then we're gonna be the same. And it's like, no, we're not gonna be the same, because you're gonna style it how you style it, and I'm gonna style it how I style it. So like I've always been that person that was like, oh my gosh, that's cute. Where you get that from? Like, and if somebody asks me, I don't gatekeep. I got it from AliExpress. I got it from Forever 21. I got it from Goodwill. Cause no one's gonna wear anything like I wear.
Yeah.
And I won't wear nothing like anybody else wears it. So I feel like whatever, like during COVID, my style was basketball hoop shorts and long socks. Because I literally bought 12 pairs of hoop shorts from Who Cares. And that was like my whole, yeah, so it's whatever floats the boats.
For sure.
As far as me, there's a difference between like fashion and style. Can y'all agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you think about it, being stylish is like self-expression, and it piggybacks and go towards my type of style. Like my style is self-expression. That's what I do. Like you said, I buy a random piece of something and be like, I could put that together later. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know, But nowadays, like my mind is switched up when it comes to just dressing, because of, these fast fashion brands and like what the clothes are made out of and all this and that. So I'm just really trying to search for things that's going to help me in a healthier way and going to help the earth in a healthier way. Because like majority of these clothes are made of plastics. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm looking for 100% cottons. I'm looking for linens. Like I don't care how hot it is. I just want some on my skin that's gonna help my skin. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's with me getting older or what, but I'm not like looking for anything that's gonna like depreciate. You know what I'm saying? Like my body. You know what I'm saying? As far as trends, like I guess that's a part of being older too, or mindset, but I'm not on trends like that no more. And if it is, like I like pinpoint like this one thing that draws my attention to that person, what they have on, and I'd be like, man, how would I rock that? You know what I'm saying? Or how would I rock it differently? Because I'm a tall person, so, and like it's been hard finding anything in my size when it comes to clothes. Shoes too, like I wear a 13, so man, like I can't, like, if I'm getting J's or Nikes, they gone. Like, the big sizes are gone. So I'm just like, I'm like, man, I'm finna wear, like, some clogs or something. I don't know. Like it's super hard when it comes to, like, me shopping for clothes. So that's what got me into making clothes. You know what I'm saying? And altering clothes to fit me and my, this personal style. So, that's my style. Like, it's self-expression,
Sure.
and mixed in with the artistry of like my background and how I like come up with different type of arts and styles and stuff like that. So yeah.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say this with the trends part. I'm big on trends when it comes to colors. Like, I love color trends because it just flows better. But when it comes to like the actual trends, I'm not really big on that here and there. But I would say color trends, I love like the butter yellow. I'm really feeling better yellow right now. But yeah, so I would say color trends is my favorite. If I do anything with trends,
For sure.
mm-hmm.
Let me ask y'all this. As an entrepreneur, as someone like a service-based entrepreneur, people, you have to sell the experience, right? People love a great experience when they come in with to a business, and so with y'all being stylists, like, let's say I come to you, what is the experience like? Coming to you, working with you, you figuring out the style, you dressing me. Like, what is that like with you guys as a stylist? We can start with you.
Okay. Um. Hmm. My whole thing is that I learned early on that if you were to come to me for my services, I'm working for you. So I know when I first started, I used to get really offended and be like, I'm the stylist, like I know it's gonna look good. You coming to me because you want, you know what I'm saying? That was me very early on. I had to change my mindset and learn that I want clients that's gonna keep coming back. So I want to build a relationship, and so now my approach is, for example, I'll use Lil Russell. So when he came to me, he was like, I don't wear jeans. I only wear Crocs, no sneakers, and something else. He was just like, and I'm like, you only leaving me with sweats, t-shirts, and Crocs. But and I was just like, I remember I was like, oh my God, like I didn't know how to style him. I didn't know what to do. I was on Pinterest. I was just like, I don't know, but I was like, I really want to see how I can like elevate his image, keep him true to himself, make him still feel great or greater, and then show like he can be a little bit more presentable. So my whole thing is always like baby stepping and like building this trust factor with my client. So I ask a lot of questions. So I do go and ask now, like, what are you uncomfortable with? Do you not like your arms out? I give examples. I be picking up my knees. Do you not like your stomach out? If it's a woman, like, what is it that you are comfortable with? And then I always like my client to show me things that they're willing to try. So Pinterest is something I use all the time. So I give my clients homework. Go on Pinterest, make a small board of some inspo of looks that you either like, that you're willing to try, or that you're scared to try, but you love how it's put together. And then I'll do my part and see how I can recreate this for your body type, for your image, and based off what you want. So for me, when I work with my client, it's always working together. And then when it comes to the actual session where we're putting the looks together and trying them on, I always have this like little thing in the back of the rack that's like taking them outside their comfort zone. So I start with things that are more comfortable, that feel a little bit more safe. They're feeling good and they're like, okay, I wouldn't have put this together. I like this. And I'll be like, all right, well, bam, I got this. And then they'll feel safe now though. And I'll try it and they'll be like, oh my God. So I have a client, she's 50 and she never went to Zara. She just felt like it wasn't age appropriate. So I would go to Macy's and get all this stuff coming with my Macy's bags. And then I had something in the back from Zara and that ended up being her favorite piece. And now when I shop for her every other month, she's like, I would love some more Zara stuff. You know, but I had to build that trust with her and I had to work for her and allow her to learn me as a stylist, see if I'm a fit for her, and then even see if she's a fit for me as a client. So I like to make it feel very comfortable, build that trust factor, that relationship. And I just keep in my mind like I'm working for you. So it's my goal is always to make you feel satisfied, not to tell you what to do or to make you just come into my world and be like, well, I'm your stylist, you need to put this on, you know? So
Do y'all I know y'all use Pinterest, but do y'all have your own Pinterest?
yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Y'all
no, I
are y'all
don't
making
use it.
money from it? Y'all like people
Oh,
are making a bag. off
I didn't know
Pinterest.
that. No.
Ads and
I do
um,
my boards here and there.
bag.
Yeah.
And I'm on other people's Pinterest.
Yes,
My
and
photo
so how
shoots that I
you are,
style.
like, on other people's Pinterest, they'll be on yours, and people are making a bag off Pinterest. That's just my little.
Okay,
Sorry,
well, that's good. I'm
say
gonna
it
dig in
again.
that today.
so like if you're asking if we're on it, like if
Do you
her
have
pictures
your-
are
do
on it,
you
or
have your
If you
own
post your
Cause you
own
can put all your
page?
stuff on there.
Oh,
if
okay,
you're
so your
doing
own
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Okay.
own stuff to where people come to your page and getting stuff or buying stuff,
Gotcha.
inspirations and all of
Yeah.
that. Like, create a Pinterest and like put your stuff
I
on
could
there,
make some.
and you will
Yeah,
make
I
a
have some
bag.
stuff, but not a lot.
People are making like literally people are making a bag.
People
of
literally
Pinterest.
take my projects or my photo shoots of myself for my creative stuff.
Yep.
Girl,
And
I
I be
got
on
your photo
See?
screenshot in my
See?
phone right now.
But
Inspirational.
I'm kidding, but I didn't know that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I be on Pinterest so
I
excited
didn't know
to
you
see and
could
stuff,
make
and I be
money,
like,
Hey, I know.
that's
Telling you.
tight.
Like people
But
have
how
the
they get money
recipes
off?
and all that kind of stuff. Like you guys go in there, make a Pinterest, create like inspiration stuff where people coming to you learning and like inspiration shoots and
Wow.
outfits and all of that stuff. Then you can have templates and stuff to sell with all of that on there. That's what can make it
I
killing.
have stuff on there, but it's not like super,
Yeah.
It's just like some stuff I just got creative one day.
Get on there.
So I didn't know that.
Yes,
I
get
didn't know you could
get on there and get a bag for sure.
But
okay.
for me, just
Yeah.
for me, pinning.
Oh,
I be
yeah.
like, ooh, Insta.
Yeah, I pin stuff. But
Yeah, I
don't
was like, I don't have any of my
upload.
stuff on there. Huh.
Okay. So just
game.
throw that out there, free game.
Yeah.
Experience. What's this like? I'm coming to you.
I would say it's a very similar experience, but I'm very fast paced with it. Just because I can kind of get the vibe very early on whether we're gonna be a good match or not. Just because I feel like it's again. You can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. I could tell you all day what's gonna look good on you, but if you don't want to try it on, if you're not, if you don't think it's going to be something good, then at this point, what are we doing? Let's not waste each other's time. But I've definitely had some, and it's probably because I'm a very abrasive, like, hey, what's up? Okay, boom, this is what but one thing I do like to do is I like to go through people's stuff. I like them to bring me stuff from their own closet so I can see like, okay, this is what, and then I'll have them style from what they brought. So then I can see like, okay, well, this is, you mixing this and this. I might not tell them that, but I'm making my own notes. And I'm like, okay, you mixing this and this. I don't know why, and I'm going to inquire about that. Are you into patterns? Are you into prints? What's your color palette? What color story do you go with? Do you change? Like my mom changes her bedspread and pillows every season. So like she has her clothes in her closet by color. So I know what type of dresser she is. So like certain things I can pick up and be like, okay, I'm not going to present you with something that's sleeveless because you don't like sleeveless stuff. And based off your colors, it's all the way in the back of your closet. So I just like to pick up certain things and then I kind of move from there with that. But I'm very like, I know myself and I know enough of the client to be like, okay, boom, I looked at your Instagram, your last 15 pictures, you were in tan. Is tan your favorite color? Do you want to do monochromatic? Can we jump into a different color and splash you out of that tan? But yeah, it's like a whole research project.
It is. It really is. Similar to what they both were saying, but with me, it's about honesty and transparency. So like we got to communicate. Like I'm talking about like I don't care if we need to FaceTime each other randomly when the pieces are like arriving at your crib and you need to try it on. Because I got it's an R&B artist I style back in my hometown in Memphis. And, since I couldn't be there, it was a lot of like virtual styling, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of phone conversations. But like I need to like, you need to like communicate with me throughout the months. Like how you doing mentally, physically, you know what I'm saying? Like how's like how's your body, because you've been working out. So like maybe we need to get some more measurements so I can order or, have different sizes shipped this time. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just about that honesty, transparency, and building that relationship because, like people be lying, man. Like especially about their body. Like folks, that body dysmorphia, body proportions is like, man, like we have to as stylists consider that, and the person that's getting styled, they definitely got to consider it because I really like this. So be like, hello, time out. All right, you see this model? Now this model don't compare to your size, so we need to like go to the plus size models and maybe look at them, you know what I'm saying? And really, differentiate from there. What you think about that? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like force anything on anyone. I'm asking like questions. I'm making considerations, suggestions, and all of these things because some people that they would get like defensive, if you do say or bring up, nah, well, and I'll be like, man, look, I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to like, tell you what I know. So
That remind me of
that's how I do it.
the episode of Sister when the mom was designing a dress for Councilwoman Hicks, and she wanted a flapper style dress, and they was like, no, because it did not go with her body size, and it was like a mini dress. And then when they got in public, she was like, why would you let me come out here like this? And they was like, we was trying to tell you this was not.
Cause even with my kid, like her mom hit me up and was just like, yeah, we went shopping online, and I was telling her to, she was picking all the stuff from the boy section, and I was just telling her they got the same size stuff in the girl section. I'm like, I'm like, time out. I was like, hear me out, just hear me out. I'm like, so the proportions and cuts are a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, women got more hips than men. Like our torso was more longer and straighter down than women because y'all got more curves. Like you got to consider that stuff because like the standardized like measurements and size are gonna be like man, woman. And the reason why she only want to shop in this man section is because some of that stuff is baggy. And then like, what if like she's, as she's developing and getting older, what if she's becoming like, like another body dysmorphia thing about like, things that's growing on her. You know what I'm saying? Like we all been there, like, growing up and just experiencing these things. So like, you got to consider that always. Like just open your mind to like these different things when it comes to clothes.
I love men clothes.
Especially with the sizing though too.
Yeah,
like
the
size
way
fire.
back in the day, ain't no size 8
Man,
today.
come on. Like stuff be switching up and we don't be knowing or paying attention sometimes. So, it's just things to consider. Yeah.
That was like totally kind of related, but kind of unrelated. One of the most interesting things that I found out about fashion was why back in the day, if you had pockets, you were considered poor. Because if you were rich, you had someone to hold your stuff for you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's why men's pockets were always bigger because they had to hold their stuff and whoever they were with stuff if they were poor.
Yeah.
And that's why women always, we could barely put our phone in our pocket. That's another reason why I like men's pants. I'm like, this is a real pocket. I can put stuff in here.
Or y'all get excited when it's a pocket just on a dress or just anything. They be like, bro, pockets.
Talk about a pocket.
I be like, why would you get so excited about pockets? Because that makes sense, though.
Yeah, put your lip gloss in there.
What about you, Mo? What's the experience like if I come to revamp?
Well, so I work with Terry. And then the first couple videos we did, I work with him. I just wanted to like see what size. So that's why I love that we picked multiple stores. And I got to know his body type. Cause sometimes people tell you what they wear, but then you got to know that store that what works for them. Then we just recently did, because you said you're more simple and all that stuff. So we did a wardrobe capsule. And I feel like that was more his speed. But I started putting different stuff in there. And it was one look that he loved. It was expensive, but he loved it. It was fire on him, though.
Oh, you took him out.
Yeah,
You
it
took
was
him out
really
his,
nice.
You took him out his jeans hack.
I took him out. Well, he had
a
jeans.
t-shirt. That was way
The
out of my
t-shirt fit him so well, and then it was a nice leather jacket, but he just looked fire. Like, and he was just, I like this. So I just kind of took him out his element, but it was still simple, but it was just perfect. So I just read my clients and I research them to the T. Like I go on all their social media, whatever I can look at, I like research them. And then when I talk to them and get all the information from them, then that's when I kind of piece stuff together and I put up my own like notes and all that good stuff for them. And just have like real conversations with people and just ask them heck of stuff to get to know them and like getting to that inside of them and try to be more like on that friendship level, because I feel like they just are more honest with themselves. So I feel like, well, me and Terry been on each other a little bit, but it that helps a lot. So yeah, just getting to know my client and researching the hell out of them, like really looking at like pictures and videos and things they like to do, what they're into, if they're into fitness and all that good stuff. So that's how I learn my clients.
Okay. Um, no industry is easy, right? We all have challenges. What are some of the challenges you guys faced in like the fashion industry, and how did you overcome them?
How much time we got?
Look, we got like 15, 24 minutes. We almost there.
I'll start with you, King. Let's start there.
Challenges. There's so many. I think I could bring up a different challenge for a different client, for a different experience, for probably every day. But I think the bigger thing is the takeaways from those experiences. Because it definitely helps mold you with how you move forward and how you deal with the next person. But a lot of, and not just that, how you actually handle if you're in that situation again. I've had many of photo shoots where models have canceled like 20 minutes before the shoot. um, and like certain things that I've just kind of programmed myself to do is to, like, for that example, I have backup models that I know that live close or that I know have flexible schedules and that can pop up just in case I need them, or that really answer their phone all the time. Like I have a list of I have a band model list, models that I will not work with again. I have a list of models that I will immediately call anytime I have a project. Um, there's experiences are going to teach you different things, and I feel like the biggest thing is what you've learned from that and how you can apply that going forward. um yeah, that's that, because there's always going to be something. That's Life is not about the issues but how you handle it, so that's
I'll go. I think my biggest challenge was figuring out or learning that this wasn't gonna be my end all be all. I think realizing that like getting a taste of the industry for real, like moving to LA, working for Fashion Nova full time, working with celebrities. I always was like, I'm gonna work with celebrities. I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be making money. And then when I got there, I was like, I hate it. Like I hated it, and I was unhappy. I wasn't making money, like because they don't, but the ones I experienced didn't want to pay. The opportunities I was getting really wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and so I was at a really low point where I had to figure out and go to God, like, what is my purpose? I had to really ask myself, like, I know I'm not put on earth to just be dressing people in clothes. That don't even make sense. That's not really serving anything. Um, and so I had to do some like deep soul searching and figure out, okay, what is my NRBO? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Why am I blessed to be able to be known for fashion and styling and have these amazing opportunities? But what is that leading me to? And also learning that I can't say yes to everything. That was a big challenge for me in the industry, but also just in life. And so, but with that challenge, it did align me with my purpose and why I am able to be blessed to be in the fashion industry and do what I do. Because it's opened doors for me to use fashion to get in this room to then go deeper and motivate and inspire people in life with my testimony, with my upbringing, and even with my experiences in fashion and how I was able to be an entrepreneur. And I don't have degrees and all that, but I am successful, and a single mother at that. And I think that I learned that my life journey is what is aligning with this talent skill I have, this gift, is how it's aligning with my purpose and allowing me to serve people and actually be purposeful. So, but the biggest challenge was figuring out, like, dang, it ain't what I thought it was gonna be. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing. This isn't my end all be all. Like, this is just a part of my journey. And so making me now be open in everything that I do and learning to, like, say no to some things. Yeah.
I
So
love that you shared that because
thank you.
a lot of people don't share the like, oh man, I was gung ho, balls deep. Oh, can I say that? Sure. My bad.
That's going on YouTube.
Sorry, gung ho, all in, into whichever industry or career that they want to pursue. And then they get there and they find out, like, oh, this is not what I was expecting it to be. And some people don't find a way to, maybe look at that as turn that to the bright side. Like some of them be like, oh my God, this is the worst. I spent all this time. I don't even want to do this no more. But like you found a way to still make it work for you because you knew that there was still your passion aligned in that. So I love that.
For sure. One of my biggest pet peeves, it just happened too, is when people introduce me as a celebrity stylist. I do not put that celebrity in. I'm just a stylist. I work with the people who I feel moved and led to work with, and I choose good people. But I don't like to be known as like celebrity stylist because I think people sometimes use that in front of whatever their title they have to kind of prove something to themselves, come off as something, and then feel like they need to prove that to others. But you don't even, you don't even believe that in yourself. And then why do you have to have celebrity in front to be great at what you do? I'm still a great stylist without celebrity in front. So my biggest pet peeve is when people are like, oh, celebrity, don't call me that. Just call me I'm just a stylist.
Yeah.
I'm a creative, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm good at what I do, whether it's a celebrity or a regular average Joe. And average Joe paying me way more than that celebrity,
Man, come on.
And he
That's true. I
appreciate
was-
me.
Come
And he
on.
I was
actually
just
want
about to
my
talk
work.
about that.
Opposed
That's
to
what
celebrity,
I
they like,
was
just
Talk
give
that
it
stuff. Don't
away.
be on time.
Don't want to.
And on time, just appreciate your work, appreciate your skill. And Joe requested me, opposed to like this celebrity is like, just get somebody, hurry up, let's do it. And whoever gonna do it for the tags.
Joe's done his research.
Joe like, nah, I need Ariel because she gonna get me right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
And that speaks volumes.
but that was a challenge. I had to really like learn that, So, sorry.
That was gonna be mine. How a lot of people don't respect that art part of. They don't understand it, so they don't want to pay. And I feel like that's been my biggest challenge, like where people don't respect it, so they don't want to pay for it. And I had to just get to a place and say, "You love this," because when I be on set, I just be out of myself, and I could look down and I be like, "Thank you, God," because I feel like I'm finally, where I want to be, and just even with revamping, like I just go into another like world. But yeah, I feel like that was maybe the biggest thing is like people do not want to pay for, styling. I could figure it out on my own, but some people really need us. I'm just saying. So I would say that's mine.
Biggest challenge for me would be, I would say, like you said, just figuring out, like purpose, like because when I got into this thing, I was painting on t-shirts. That was my like expression when it came to just fashion and design. And then someone suggested that maybe I should start sewing. And then I picked up sewing. And then I'm like, man, this ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, am I choosing the right thing? I'm like, man, what's up with this needle? Like, it was just so many things like that came with it. But I end up just, falling in love with it more. And just, it grew on me. But when I started to get deep into it, like, going up to New York and talking to manufacturers and like just getting the price up on stuff like that, I was just like, ooh, maybe this is not for me. Like, because like, I worked in man, you know what I'm saying? Like I worked in a bridal shop in the back, doing alterations. And man, like it's underpaid. Like it's the same people, whether they Hispanic or folks from overseas. Like I'm just like, bro, this don't make any sense. I'm like, I don't want that for my brand or business. I'm like, nah, I think I'm good on that. I'll stick to styling people, connecting with people, doing things that's like a service for my community. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that's why I feel like it was figuring out that challenge is like, Ariel said, like just figuring out that purpose. And that purpose for me is like being of service.
For sure.
That's my purpose, being of service.
I love that.
I like that.
I love that we're all into it, not for the money. Because you can
Money help.
tell.
Money,
Yeah.
it helps.
But
It
I'm just
helps,
saying.
but it's like,
That's not
I
the
was like, 'cause
drive.
the way, like,
That
what-
purpose is
yeah,
that
what you were talking
drive.
about, like saying no to certain things.
Yep.
I being the age that I am now, that I have, youngers that I mentee just off GP, and having to tell them those things, and they look at it like, what do you mean? No. And I'd be like, all business ain't good business. I was like, anybody could be like, oh man, I need you to take this, da 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 da. Like, I do photography. And let me tell you, I hate post-production. I hate editing photos. It takes me so long. But I love taking pictures. And I had to get to a space where I was like, people were wanting me to take pictures of them, and I was like, but this doesn't do anything for me. Like, I don't mind taking the picture, but I'm not going to edit it. If you want me to send you the raws, I'm not going to do that either. I'll just send you some JPEGs, but photographer. But there's just things that, I'd be like, you know what? I don't have the capacity for that. And knowing and feeling confident that, like, I had to say no to that job because that's what I needed to do at that moment. And I don't think it was a good look for me. And not being like, oh man, I said no to that job. They could have been paying blah, blah, blah. Or I could have been blah, blah, blah. Because I feel like a lot of people get stuck in that shoulda, woulda, coulda too. Instead of being like, that just wasn't it for me. There'll be another opportunity.
Yeah, but your nose is gonna guide you where you going. Like, I feel like a lot of times we feel like them nose, like, you saying it for a reason. It's a gut feeling, so you allow that no to take you on that path where you going. And I, like Ariel always, like, God is leading. He pushing you to where you need to go. So just listen, be obedient, do what you need to do. And it's them no's is coming from that gut feeling. Everything is in you. So I've learned, saying no to opportunities and all that stuff, it got me to where I'm at now. And I'm just creating all these dreams and things that I'm coming after is where I really want to be. So I just feel like it's just that purpose. Like, and that's God give you your purpose. So I just want to say
that. We are winding down. As we're coming to a close, I wanted to have it open if you guys had any questions that you wanted to ask amongst each other or just put out there that you guys can answer, but also in that, keeping it brief. For sure. So anybody?
I have a question for you.
Oh, so.
Yeah. Content creator, right? I find that content creating seems like the most easiest thing to do and the quickest like come up as far as like now in today's society, but it's also one of the it's so hard. It's a real job. And even for myself, like, I already have the platform, I got the following, like, people like to see. I don't feel like it. Like, I get dressed, I don't take pictures of my outfits, I be wasting them. I feel like if I don't take a picture, it's a waste. I don't like people. I always have super dope ideas on how to like put content out. People love like what I'm doing with my ministry with God, and then combining it with like fashion. And it's just like so many opportunities for content, but I'm just like, I don't feel like it. So for those who do really want to do it but do find it difficult, what is your advice? And I know one of my friends I was talking to, she was like, I gotta get a camera, and I'm just like, the phone is good quality, so like really ain't no excuse. But it's just like, how do you push past that and just do it? Or is that something, do you feel aligned with purpose, or you just, what is your advice on that?
So for me, it's just something that I like to do. So how y'all like fashion, like you have to make content fun, right? And so like when I have clients or I do shoot content for them, I want to make the experience fun. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna talk, but we also gonna plan. And so the number one thing in creating content and being consistent with it is planning it out. A lot of times we're trying to wing it, like shoot from the hip. Like, you don't have a plan, so you're like, oh, I'm getting dressed. Oh, I need to take a picture. I need to shoot some content. But then it's like, well, I don't know what to do. Do it look right? Do this, do this. And then you're like, I don't do nothing at all. Right. But then if you plan it out of the content that you want to produce, the content that you want to put out, it makes it easier for you to produce it and put it out. The other thing is like batch create it, right? Plan a day. We got 2-3 hours. I'm going to put outfit on, shoot some content, take this off, put another outfit on, shoot some content, and do it like that. So therefore, because we're not always in the mood to shoot content. But if you plan it out and you plan a day and set some time apart and take an hour or two and just take videos and take pictures and put on different outfits, it makes it easier for you to show up. So I would just say plan it out, batch create it, and have fun. We overthink it, like how you were saying your friend with the camera. We don't need this camera. Listen, I can get 10,000, 50,000 views from my cell phone, and you can get this expensive camera and only do 100 views. Like, right? People like the authenticity. So, like, use your camera. You don't need all the special equipment because you already ain't shooting content anyway. So you're going to buy the special equipment and still don't use it. Right? So you ain't going to use it anyway. So get your phone out. Yeah.
That's true.
For sure. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, my question. If you, no money, I don't know why I got the microphone real close when I did that. If you could have any career title, no money, schooling, whatever, what would you be doing?
I think I would be doing what I do now with the public speaking. I find that because people that know me know, people that don't know me would not believe the things I've been through from a child up into adulthood. Like my life is like, like I really had a rough upbringing, and I used to always question like, dang God, like why? And then when I started doing public speaking at schools and talking to youth and or hosting my Bible study, when I started to begin like sharing my testimony, my story, it all made sense that that I was the one being equipped to be able to help others save others and make my journey worth sharing and things like that. So I would do that for the rest of my life with no money, no pay. I actually do that now with no money, no pay. Like I don't get paid for public speaking, hosting a Bible study. Everything is just like me showing up free. Now, will I turn down money from it? No, but I enjoy doing that so much. I would do that for the rest of my life with no money because it makes my life feel that much more worth it and value because I know what I went through wasn't for nothing, and I know that I'm helping and saving others through my experience. So that's something that I could do, no title, no money, whatever, and just forever.
I would like no money, no title, community service. I'll be smack dead in the community, like just helping folks out when it comes to the creative aspect of it. So I would be, like in these skill workshops with kids or adults, or elders, just like helping out because it's been times where like the last exhibition I did, it was called Blue Gold, and it was based on like the overconsumption of clothes and them dumping clothes in Ghana, and not us having like actual cottons in our clothes that we put on our skin. And the exhibition that I had it was based on like a artist's work that was up. I forgot his name right now. Dang. But anyway, while I met him, I asked him like what he do, and then he was just like, I do a lot of community work. So like he's up at like the community centers and stuff like that with elders and like doing art with them, and then most of his art is incorporating people within the community, like their faces. They like he stitched them on quilts. He put the and Dinkra symbols on them. That's based on like that, that symbolism behind the people and purpose. But and then he asked me, he was just like, do y'all do like sewing workshops and stuff like that at elder homes and stuff like that? And I'm like, I mean, we can, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I could see myself doing that, because like that's what it's about. Like you are, we performing these acts of service. Like, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Like it's not necessarily about money. Like the money help us, and it's been set up this way, so we have to get paid for what we do because we got to make a living and a roof over our head. But we like but if not, then yeah, community service.
That's how we met. Yeah.
Yep.
We met teaching sewing.
Yep.
My
Community
question.
work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My question is, I want everybody to answer this question too. What do you do to keep your mental health? Because I'm really big on mental health, and that's if I had to answer that question, it'd be something in mental health. Because I feel like if I didn't get mine checked, then I wouldn't be the woman I am today. And I'm very open with talking about everything I went through with my mental health. And we need our mental to do what we need to do. So, what do you do on a daily basis to keep your mental health strong and amazing? Like, just it to keep you going. What do you do to keep your mental health at a good place?
It's a good question. I don't think I do anything on a daily, um, to be honest. But I feel that like I am now more being more in tuned and intentional with
Okay.
my mental health. Like I got a therapist and I have therapy on like Mondays and stuff like that. And then it's just like finding things that I like to do, right? And so it's like I like to create content. So I would like take time out of my day or when I get off work and I'll just stay at work and I'll be like shoot some content. Because it's like it helps me be creative. That's my creative side, right? With no pressure. And then if I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. Right. And so it's just figuring out it's not feeling guilty for not producing, right? I think we got this embedded of hustle culture
Yeah.
so much, right? And then it's like if we ever relax or we watch TV or we do something, it's like, well, you ain't hustling, you ain't doing this. And so it's feeling guilty, right? And so I think one thing is like learning to not feel guilty, to just not do nothing sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. For me, I go to God. Truly, I get my strength, my peace. Now that's easier said than done too, because I'm a human. And so I go to therapy once a week too, mine on Tuesdays. I just put my daughter in therapy too, and she's 11. Um, I do that. I like to have days where I don't do absolutely nothing. I think my mental health journey, like the things I do, my self care looks different every day. Some days I forget, and then I'm like I'm just all wired, and I'm like, why do I feel like this? I'm like, okay, because I didn't do nothing for me today. So actually, I just started this week where I'm waking up every day. My devotional book is on the side of my bed, so I'm reading the devotion for the day every day before I get out the bed, and kind of just motivate me, encourage me. Um, I listen to gospel music because that's just something that put me back in the space of like, okay, reflect on God, know that you can get your strength from there, and you can get peace, and that He's always with you. So why I'm tripping, life gonna do what it's gonna do anyway. And if I know that, but know that I'm not alone in it, then I should be able to have a little strength to get through it and endure whatever it is. And also know that I'm gonna get through it. Because when I think back on everything that I've been through it. I'm not still there anymore. So for me, it's more of a mindset thing. Doing more reading as well. I actually really enjoy reading. Enjoy writing. I'm a writer. And so finding time every day to journal and to read, that really makes me feel really good, and sets the tone for my day. So just shouting out this book, Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer.
I told you this. My grandma used to
Oh
make me
my
read
God.
her books. Like when I was younger. Well, we got a lot to talk to you about that. But
Yeah,
girl, she used to make me read them books, and I'm so thankful she did. I
life
remember we talked about
changing.
this. Yeah,
I think reading in general
yeah.
and like the right books, but
Mhm.
the battle is always in the mind. That's why it's mental health. It's always in your mind.
Yeah.
We'll have something on our mind and make it real life. Just
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
not, but we made it that. So I'm in this process of changing my perspective on life and my mindset. So now I know that I have a choice to be happy. I have a choice to forgive someone. I have a choice to hold on to something and whatever. Like everything is a choice of yours, and how you perceive it matters. And understanding that the battle is always in your mind. So for me, that's what I would do daily, is like checking myself, like this is like in my mind. Like I can choose right now whether I'm gonna let this affect my whole day, or if I'm just like, what, it is what it is, let me go on. So that would be a daily thing. Yeah.
My daily mental health keep in check. I don't. It's not anything I do daily. I I am a breast cancer thriver, so I'm in a lot of support groups, which is, but online shopping and watching trash TV are like my two, probably the only two things that my brain is just like I can shut my brain off. Because when it comes to everything else, like anything it's fashion, if anyone in my family has a question about anything fashion, anything tech, anything with cameras, they come to me. If it's school related, that's already and then it's like work. So I'm like, trash TV is like my go-to. And when I shop, I don't like to shop with nobody. I like to shop by myself. I could walk around Home Goods for 3 hours and buy nothing. But it just, my brain will start to think about all the different things. Like, oh my gosh, if I had these plates, oh my gosh, look at this little dirty hamper. What material is this? This is nice. Just it takes me away from like the realm of reality. So it's just nice to have those. Oh, and then my other thing is, which I only started recently doing, I think since January, was saying no. That's the new thing. I was like, and not feeling guilty about it. Because that was my thing. I would always, if I couldn't do something or I couldn't go somewhere, I couldn't be somewhere for somebody, and I had already, given the okay and just wasn't feeling up to it, I would always feel like, bad. I would always feel bad for not being able to support. So I had to get out of that. Even if the people weren't mad at me, it was just always an internal thing. So like I had to get out of that mind's frame of being like, oh my gosh, why do I feel so bad because I had to say no, and be like, I had to say no, and that's okay. I just had to say no today.
What I do on a daily, well, I start off when I first get up. When I first get up, cut the alarm off, man, I set the phone right back down because I don't try to start off with the phone. I, wash my face, brush my teeth, and then I get to my yoga. I start doing my yoga, do all my stretches, and then I do my neck exercises, and then I go straight into meditation. I meditate for at least like 10, 15 minutes straight, and it's just silence. Like starting the day off every day, silence. Like I even started doing like not listening to music on my way, into the barbershop and stuff like that. And I just want to listen to like everything that's around me, whether it's birds, whether it's cars, whether it's, the leaves blowing on a tree, you know what I'm saying? Or my thoughts. Cause sometimes like, it's not too good to get, in your head, but like at least, analyze a few things that's going on in your life, you know what I'm saying? And just work through it, Or like, like talk to the higher power, God, or, whatever name that you say or call, the universe, just whatever. But, on a day-to-day, I just try to like start off with just silence, you know what I'm saying? Just go into it real smooth because I feel like, like it's a lot of noise that's happening. so yeah.
It starts so early.
Man, it starts so
I'm
early.
like,
Like,
I'm like, for real?
I'm like, man.
It's 7 o'clock.
And then I
What
don't
are
like
we
waking up.
doing?
I don't like waking up strolling anymore. I was just like, man, I just put it down. Let's just put it away. Just get it away.
Working on that.
And and I do therapy
I'm
too.
trying.
I do therapy too. I do therapy. It was every Monday, but now we knocking it down to every like 2 weeks. Like I started out in 2018 with a life coach, and then COVID hit, and then we was doing virtual. But now I switched to an actual therapist. Now, and it's been going pretty smooth. Yeah, it's what's been helping my mental out a whole lot. So yeah.
Okay, I'll finish it up. So putting God first, staying in my gratitude is something that's big for me because I'll be having the moments like I was just saying earlier. I'm tired, but I'm like, I'm blessed that I'm, in this point of doing the podcast. Fitness is a big one. I'm so blessed that I can move my body. Ooh, that's like a big one for me. Eating right, eating whole foods, texting people I love just to say, I love you, or, I'm just thinking about you. Being there for other people, strangers, or just my peers, like that's something that's big for me. That I keep my mental health going. Yeah, and that's it. And then I'm gonna close it out. But thank you coming to our podcast, Cavas Conversations. My name is Monique. I am a fashion designer, upcycle fashion designer, and a stylist, and more to come. We out.
Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and share this YouTube channel, this podcast with anyone in the fashion industry or that you feel that can get some good value from this great conversation we had today. See you later. Peace.